Welcome to After the Whistle podcast. Today is Wednesday, September 4th. This is Season 1, Episode 4 of the show. I'm your co-host, Jody Medusky, alongside Brad Luttrell, Jeff Huffman. Guys, we're going to talk a little football. Our Kingston Yellow Jackets and Tennessee Vols took it on the chin. We're going to recap those games. We've got a very special guest with us today. We're going to talk to senior defensive end Trey Schultz. But first, before that, I'll recap the games from last week in the county. Wartburg defeated Harriman 40-9. Sweetwater defeated Rockwood 13-12. Alcoa beat Austin East 42-0. And Oliver Springs defeated Kingston 25-7. Brad, why don't you give us a little summary of how you thought the game went last Friday night?
Well, guys, very frustrating night for the Yellow Jackets. Particularly offensively, we just kept shooting ourselves in the foot. I believe we had 14 penalties for 100 and some odd yards, and Oliver Springs declined 3 or 4 more. So we probably had 17 or 18 flags thrown on us during the game. A couple of big plays in the game. Marcus Rose caught a swing pass out. Kane got flushed out of the pocket and hit him out in the flat, and he took it to the house. That touchdown got called back for a penalty. And also, another big play, I thought, in the second half, we were down 2 scores, and Kane called it was 3rd and 17, and Kane, he ran a quarterback draw and got about 16 yards and got hammered out of bounds. I thought it was an obvious late hit, and the refs didn't call it. But, guys, really, you got to give Oliver Springs credit. They were the better team last Friday night, and that's about all you can say about it. Huff, what was your thoughts on it?
Yeah, Friday night was a tough game. County game. Kingston went over there to Oliver Springs looking to get a win, get some revenge from last year. Came out, good game early. Oliver Springs had a big play right before the half to go up 12-7. Big momentum for them. They took it in the locker room, come out third quarter, scored midway through the third quarter, go up 19-7. At that point, forced the Jackets to go pretty much into the pass full time. They were defensively for Oliver Springs, flushed Kane out of the pocket, made it tough for him to make plays. Then in the fourth quarter, Oliver Springs scored a couple touchdowns late to put the game away, won 25-7. But like you said, Brad, you got to give Oliver Springs a little credit. They wanted to keep that streak going against Kingston, 2 in a row now. So that's okay. There's always next year. So we'll bounce back this week, and we'll see what we can do against Austin East Friday night.
Yeah, I thought the play before half was a big play, like you said, Huff, because instead of going up in the half 7-6, you're down 12-7. That changed momentum. And number 44 for Oliver Springs, big back. Every time they got in the red zone, they gave him the ball, and he was tough to bring down, and we had a hard time getting him to the ground. And he scored a couple touchdowns and had a big game for Oliver Springs.
Yeah, he had an interception late in the game too, I believe.
All right, guys, good take on that. We got Austin East this week. We can't cry over spilled milk. It's time to get to business, get back to work. It was a tough loss, but doesn't hurt you in the region. And Friday night's a big game. We got to travel to Austin East, and if you pick up that win, Brad, that's a good start to the region.
Yeah, like you said, Jody, Oliver Springs doesn't have any bearing on the region, so we got to go up to Knoxville Friday night ready to play and take it to the Roadrunners, because if not, hey, they're going to be taking it to us, so we've got to be ready.
Austin East hasn't found the pay dirt yet this year. They're 0-2.
Yeah, that's amazing.
They've got 2 goose eggs on the scoreboard, so that's something positive that gets you fired up to get ready to play. 3 games in a row not scoring, that'd be impressive.
Yeah, they played 2 very tough opponents. Webb lost 3-0 in a defensive struggle, and then last week Alcoa hammered them 42 to rip.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game Friday night. Both teams' first region game of the year. Well, actually, not. Austin East played Alcoa last week, but Kingston's first region game of the year. But like I said, Austin East hasn't scored yet, but they'll be looking to change that Friday night, so Kingston's got to go up there and be ready to play.
Welcome back to the show. We're pleased to be joined by senior captain Trey Schultz. Trey wears number 6. He plays defensive end and quarterback for the Kingston Yellow Jackets and was our Week 1 WBIR Defensive Player of the Week against Harriman. Congratulations, Trey, on the award. We appreciate you being on the show.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Guys, you got a couple questions for Trey?
Yeah, Trey, I just want to know, as being the captain and senior leader of the team, how do you get the team to move on from a loss like Auburn Springs and move on to Austin East and district play? How do you get them to get over that?
Yeah, as you know, I mean, that was a tough loss. I think the leadership thing starts right after the game and how you hold yourself up after that. I mean, it's tough to do, but as a senior, it's hard, especially after a county game and talking so much trash and stuff. But it's rough. But I think even the week after it starts in the weight room and stuff too, and in film, you just got to keep your head up and knowing that there's more, like the region play and stuff is more important. And that county game really didn't have effect on their chance at the playoffs or anything.
Yeah, like you said, the reasons what really matters in the playoff spot that you get. So those are important games coming up, and hopefully you guys do well. Huff?
Trey, Friday night, big region game at Austin East. What are the keys defensively for the Jackets to slow the Roadrunners down this week?
Well, Austin East's number one player obviously is their quarterback. He's a pretty special runner, and I mean he's all right passing, but I think our number one key is we have to stop him and slow down their tailback too. I mean they're all pretty fast kids, so I think as long as we stop them, we'll be all right on defense.
Sounds good. Good luck Friday night.
Thank you.
All right, Trey, talk a little bit about playing defensive end. I know you basically have two responsibilities. It's get to the quarterback or set the edge and either force the running back out of bounds or back in the middle. You've been playing there most of your career in high school. Talk a little bit about playing defensive end for the Yellow Jackets.
I mean, my senior year has obviously been the most fun because this year I think I put on like 20 pounds in the off season and still not being the biggest guy on the field, especially as a defensive lineman, it's still pretty tough. But just considering myself a speed rusher, I think I can beat most of the offensive tackles off the ball, and that pretty much helps me out.
Hey, dog, I think you're not telling the truth. What are you, about 6'4", 240? I think you're about 240, aren't you? You look like it.
No, close though. About 6'4", about 210.
Hey, that's awesome.
Trey, talk about the mentality you have to play defensive line at the high school level. I mean, talk about how nasty it gets in there and all the talk. It goes back and forth, and just talk about the game within the game, so to speak.
Yeah, you got to be pretty tough to play it. I mean, there is a lot of trash talk being that close to everybody, and especially hitting kids. But I'm not really one of trash talking, but still I have to be pretty tough and keep my cool during everything, and it's pretty fun.
Okay, Trey, one last thing we'd like to talk to you about before you get out of here. A mutual friend of ours, your pitching coach, Brian Hochaver, who I've known for about 4 years now, he told me last week, we asked him about how you were doing, and he was really impressed how you've grown over the years, and he really thinks you've got a career in baseball. Talk a little bit about your relationship with Brian Hochaver and tell us how you feel about how you're progressing on the mound.
Yeah, I think I've been with Hochaver since freshman year of high school, and everything I've accomplished throughout high school and summer ball, I don't think I could have done without Hochaver. I mean, he showed me everything through how to throw my secondary pitches and increase speed and everything, and he's basically the starting point when it comes to college recruiting and helping me get and find schools I want to go to, so I just want to give all the credit to him pretty much.
Well, he's a great coach. He's a great motivator. Man, every time I see him, I want to run through a brick wall. I know he pumps you up. It's awesome to have a guy like that in your pocket. He tells me you're throwing in the upper 80s right now, which is pretty impressive at the high school level.
Yeah, I think I started out freshman year like mid-70s, upper 70s, and I think I made the jump from 80 last year up into hitting 88 up there at his place. So staying in weight and everything's helped me a lot.
That's awesome, man. And well, we appreciate you being on the show. We appreciate your insight. Thanks for being here, and good luck to you the rest of football season. And baseball season just around the corner. We just had a parent meeting tonight, so we got baseball around the corner. So we look forward to watching you play the rest of your senior year, man. Thanks.
Thank you. I've had fun.
That's awesome.
Welcome back to After the Whistle. Now it's time for our high school pick segment. We've got our student athletes back with us again this week. Brady Luttrell, start us off with your pick.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a hard-fought game Friday night. Both teams will come out ready to play in a decent game. But in the end, I think Kingston's going to win Friday night 14-8 over Austin East.
Thank you, sir. How about you, Mr. Bryson Bowles?
I think Austin East is too fast for Kingston. I got them winning 24-14.
Boo. Okay, now we got Will Medusky. Will, what say you?
I'm going to say that Kingston's going to pull it off at the very end, 21-14.
Good pick. All right. We've got Braden Hart up here. Braden, what's your take?
I feel like Kingston's coming off a loss. I think they're going to come back and beat them 21-16.
21-16. All right, got it. And we've got a student athlete on the phone here, Mr. Harper Neal. Harper, give us your take.
I think he's always a tough game, but I'm going to have to go with my boys here. I think they're going to win 14-8.
14-8. Got it. Appreciate it, man. All right, Jeff, Brad, come on in here and give us your take on the game Friday night. Huff, lead us off.
Well, I think the Jackets are going to go to Knoxville, and it's going to be looking for a little bounce back from the loss last week. I think we're going to see a lot of defense Friday night. I'm going to say Kingston pulls it out 14-12.
14-12 for Mr. Huffman. Bradley, what do you say?
Well, I have to agree with Huff. I think it's going to be a defensive battle, and I think our guest Trey Schultz on defense is going to come up with some big plays, and the Yellow Jackets are going to win 7-6.
Ooh, nice. Defensive battle. I like it. Guys, great picks. I believe Kingston rebounds after the loss last week and takes care of business, gets their first region win of 2019. I'm going to say the final score will be 21-12. But to run down this week's action in the county, Cofield travels to Harriman, Oakdale travels to Midway, and Oliver Springs travels to Rockwood. All right, guys, let's turn our attention, or lack thereof, by our favorite college football team, the University of Tennessee. Guys, we laid an egg Saturday to Georgia State. I sat up there in 140-degree weather, and I was in total shock of what I was seeing. It's been a long time since we've played that bad, and it may be the worst loss in my lifetime. Guys, give me your take on the UT Vols' first game loss last week.
Well, guys, let's just call a spade a spade. That was probably the worst coached game I've seen since I've been going to games at UT. And the players' effort wasn't much better. I mean, there was no effort, no energy, no enthusiasm from the coaches or players. And it was just a pathetic effort overall. I know I've heard some of the old-timers say that 1975 North Texas was probably the worst loss in program history until this one, and this one may have surpassed it. Juwan Jennings, Trey Smith, about the only two guys out there that I saw giving maximum effort. If we had 22 Juwan Jennings out on the field, guys, we'd be a lot better off. That kid busts his rear end every game. When he catches a pass, he's trying to get every yard he can. When he's blocking, he's trying to knock somebody up in the third row. So we need about 80 more just like him. Huff, what's your take on it?
Well, right before you get started, Huff, let me just throw out some stats out there. We were 26-point favorites. Everybody knows that. We were up 17-14 at halftime, which I thought, the game was pretty ugly, but we still had to lead. We come out in the third quarter and give Georgia State some credit. They came and they pounded the rock, and they went down the field 3 times, big, long possessions, 10 plays, 75 yards, 9 plays, 74 yards, and just took it to our defense.